because that affected the rotations. Because what happened after that was then you get a player jumping on ticket booth, and then Kiyoshima's standing in A pit. He runs up A pit, sees a guy scoped, looking into connector. Well, that's an easy frag on a static player with Footed Eagle. That's 2 players dead. All of a sudden, it's a rotation nightmare. So you can really see how getting a pick on the connector guy can cause a huge amount of issues for a CT side. And speaking of Kiyoshima,
that's Swedish flag.
We've got some info on him here. Kiyoshima originates from the Counter-Strike 1.6 background, in which he made his first international appearance at 17. Oh,
1
17
and 7 and 17.
During his WC 2011. I thought it was going to say not his age, but like the tournament. And so I was like, wait, 2017?
You just read the words, and then it makes sense. That's how it works, Dan.
Well, we got that, and Kiyoshima has incredibly good English. He's been living in the UK for a very long time. His English is amazing.
He's taken one of our women, Dan.
Yeah, he has.
2 sniper rifles for Heroic, Modi and S-Tag. S-Tag will be holding B, and he might be left alone here once again. Freiberg moving towards a short position. Is he brave enough to walk up mid, perhaps? It would be quite risky with only a pistol. Now we see S-Tag forced away from his initial position. But this could be a good one. Avoids a second flashbang, but there is a third one. Really nice play from Envy, and that's just to take map control.
Ooh, that's nice.
They are selling a big fake this time. Nico out of position, but S-Tag still gets the first pick. Rubino picked off. Nico trying to rotate around the jungle position. Modi picked off in CT. Very long reload for Nico, but he still manages to get some damage before getting taken out. And now it might be about saving this AWP unless S-Tag can get a pick through connector.
It's going to be pretty difficult to get in. Freiberg's going to have all sorts of difficulties there. Is there anyone watching for this? It looks like there is not. So they can both come in from jungle, but what is the setup like here for Envyus? They do have a man on the stairs. S-Tag, oh, they line up for Kiyoshima. Can't ask for an easier spot than that. And 7 rounds go to Envyus. And Heroic's money is down the toilets.
It's in the bin. The AWP barrel conceded the position of the 2 players in jungle, ultimately. And down they went. The score is close, though. Heroic with 5 rounds on the board. Could be worse. So it is not disaster territory just yet. Envy taking the momentum from the previous map into Mirage. That was a much better fake from them than what we saw last time, I must say. Markedly improved. Haji in the middle position while the rest of his team focus on the A side. Nico good for 1 kill, but they've only got USPs. They've got plastic hammers versus a chainsaw of Envy. They still, though, get 2 kills with those plastic hammers. Fisher-Price moving up in the world.
It's 8-5. Envyus looking pretty strong now. And we've got Kiyoshima on 17 for 9 at the moment. He's having quite the game. 133.8 ADR. And you've got Scream up there as well, 120. Well, actually, Kiyoshima's on 144 after that last round. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty impressive.
Beautiful.
That is a strong performance.
It is stellar.
Very interesting. But Sixton had to go for around 50. So basically, it's Scream and Kiyoshima doing all of the lifting right now. All of it.
Trades through the smoke. And there are 2 CTs in control of mid, but the other 4 are in the A side. The only person who can defend this is Modi, stuck in connector. And they could force him out. There are grenades here for the NV side. Rubino's on a fast flank, but Swix is about to meet him with his knife out. Oh, that's awkward. Taken out. Now there's a flank which pulls Scream away, which means there are only 2 players to defend on the side.
Yeah, and you've got the 2 guys having a hot game, Kiyoshima and Scream. What can they do? They have XMS for the assist. And they've got decent positions, kind of the ones you expect. Just been very worried about that flank. XMS trying to defend as they start to spill over from the stairs position. Kiyoshima goes to the peak, gets himself the first one. Now XMS, it's his turn to step up to the plate, but he'll be dropped just as quickly as the CTs enter the site. Now Scream alone on the pits. Kiyoshima alone on CT. Freiberg able to isolate them. But no time. Scream going in for some additional damage, looking to perhaps intercept him, but they've done a job. They've done the job, that is. Done a job. They've done the job in defending the bomb site. So 9-5. Envyus still having quite a strong performance.
Scream taking a detour at the end there, wanted to hunt Freiberg through the crawl space, but thought he might lose his all his items to the bomb. Again, Envy, this time with 3 AWPs to kick things off. I'm sure there will be rifles on the floor this time. I think there might have been last time, I'm not 100% sure. Wasn't keeping an eye on things, but there's the first pick taken by Scream, won't make anything of it, and let's see if he picks up an AK-47. Indeed he does. Fair enough. Maybe inspired by Dust 2 coming back into the map for all these sniper rifles. So they've seen one towards A, they've seen one towards B. Kishima and 6 are likely to continue with their sniper rifles. Meanwhile, we've got Heroic with a scout.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Who was it yesterday we saw just beasting with? Oh, it was Excurate, wasn't it?
Simple.
Excurate. He was beasting with a scout. Ooh, hello. Bit of a trade going on there in the apartments. And then pause in there for some reason. 4v4. Great position for the DT side, especially in a spot where the CTs don't have too much utility. Ooh, Haji gets another entry onto the B-bomb side. That's the big problem. How does that impact the rotations here for Heroic? Things can start to get a little bit desperate. Nico in a great position, though. Will they spot this? He could be good for the double. If he does, that could turn the round around. Oh, he does go for the peak ball. The trade comes in, though. Very responsible stuff from XMS.
Yeah, that is a blind spot Nico is playing. Good spot to try and knife people from. You can see them run past if he's staring at the floor. Rubino alone on the B-bomb site, but XMS has a long rotation, so there is time for Rubino to get into a better position, but Sixer is trying to do the same. Rubino making it to jungle, and XMS is, fortunately for him, going into Palace. Otherwise, Rubino would have had the cross. Sixer spotted and out, and there's XMS about to peek from the Palace position, and now Rubino knows where he is. Gets his reload in. XMS can plant safely. If he stays back there, Rubino can stand on the bench and he will see his head. But he chooses to stand and fight XMS, and he will win the duel. 10-5 in favor of Envy at half-time.
Really nice performance from Envyus. It started off super well for them. Of course, we saw lots of momentum, and then, you know, thankfully for Heroic's sake, they managed to get 5 strung together, and you know, they're able to blow up some of these pushes, these splits from the likes of Envyus. And this fight in the end, it was a bit strange because it did seem like Rubino had a good fight, but then he gets flashed, and then XMS times his peak pretty well. But XMS still almost died. But either way, yeah, it was such a strong performance from Kiyoshima and Scream. Again, Scream over 100 ADR, and Kiyoshima 130, and everyone else around 50 for the remainder of Envyus. But now we're into the pistol round. Let's see who's able to take it. Sixer starts things off here. Kiyoshima! That is a very nice couple of frags. And just like that, if you blinked, you would have missed it. Envyus take the pistol.
Damn.
Did they win both pistols in Inferno too?
That is a problem. They won both second half pistols at the very least. Heroic are in a really bad spot now. And I won't say they were tilted or anything like that. They were focused on what was to come. But what is to come now? 5-11 down, having lost a pistol round. No bomb plants. And in the fashion in which they lost that pistol, it's demoralizing.
Yeah, and I think, well, we'll come back to what I was going to go to that. Oh my god, look at all the reds on the T players there. Lots of nade damage. Goodbye, Kiyoshima. The CZ getting some ground here. Can the MP9 do anything? No. So there you go. The power of speed from the CZ. That's one of the great strengths of the CZ. You can take so much ground so quickly, much like the old Tech 9 when it was very broken. That was like one of the things that was so broken about it, is that you can sprint so far before the CTs can react. You have insane positioning, and the 2v4 is very doable here for Envyus. The health is so low on Heroic, but Modi with that slight flank, he could really spoil the milk.
The T's may feel like they can fall back now because of Modi's position. That grenade doesn't get a fatal kill. Modi misses the mark there. I'm not sure if the CT was on the bomb plant now. Scream cannot take care of it though. Haji doesn't have time to plant to defuse the bomb, and Modi cares not. He's coming in with the headshots, and he doesn't even have an AK yet. That is quite the force buy from Heroic. I feel like sometimes the MP9 player around triple gets more kills there, but it was a very awkward peak. Peaks and faces 2 at the same time. Small things that got Heroic further than otherwise. Kishima couldn't fire his gun in the stairs position after Throwing the flashbang. Still waiting for the cooldown. And here we are. Round number 6 for Heroic. So now, all of a sudden, it does not feel like a canyon between these two teams, because there are advantages to be had from the T side, but Kirishima with a Deagle appears to be a problem.
Yes, yeah, I mean, we've seen Envyus have lots of success in these rounds. And might be getting very dangerous here for Heroic if they don't pick the right decisions. Again, when you lose a player in a spot like this, you want to be very decisive. You don't want to give more opportunities for Hadji to get more tags with the scout. You want to just take a bomb site, and that's what Heroic are having the sense to do. Going for the A play, not a split from middle, but it's just XMS. They're actually just playing a retake here, are Envyus. I do wonder if they'll be able to like successfully pull off a retake with no kit and no nades, though.
Yeah, they are rotating, but it might be too late. They Sixer boosted Hadji at B apartments. They weren't sure if people were hiding or what. That's a nice shot from Kirishima. Oh! What is this? 5 versus 2. This is ridiculous. There's no answer from Heroic just yet. He continues to charge another headshot. Are you serious, Kirishima? Modi 1 versus 4 after 4 deagle shots from Kirishima, and now it's his turn to have some burst some headshots. Running out of health, they all lined up for him, but he just didn't have it left. No HP. Kirishima, what a performance. What a performance.
He's having such a sick game. And again, you know, just as Sean said, you know, he's a player that was, you know, slept on, you know, massively since he exited that sort of major winning lineup under, the past Envyus, actually. And one thing that one of the points I was about to make that I cut myself off on was the fact that I feel like Kirishima being in the leadership position here on this team, I think he's great for team morale, just generally speaking. He's a very jovial guy and very easygoing. And, you know, we're seeing him lead by example as well. So fantastic deagle shots from him. And my God, his, after that one, his ADR's moved up to 150.
That is devastating. Absolutely devastating, and maybe a pause is in need here for Heroic. So, oh man, denied us the factoids there for Freiburg. Well, it is going to be a force buy for Heroic. They cannot let this go any further. They had success before. They are better equipped on the force buy now than they were last time. Will it do the job for them? They have 5 smoke grenades, 3 Molotovs, and loads of flashbangs. So there are executes to be had here for the T side, and it seems they'll start with a takeoff mid. There's the first smoke grenade down on the short position. There's a smoke in the window as well. Sixer in no man's land seem to have 2 minds as to what he wanted to do, and there's an early pick for Envy. For Heroic, sorry.
And it's a pretty big deal. Envyus need to make sure they can't burst out of connector safely, and the smokes will be able to counter that. Kirishima, is he going to go through this? It's very dangerous to do so without any assistance. Would need Team Flash or a Flash from a teammate or something similar. Scream is trying to get some damage through the smoke as the Flash will come forwards, but Scream unawares that still someone is in the connector, and this is going to look very bad for Envyus. Looking really bad. Heroic with a very important round win right after that incredible moments. The incredible deagle moments we saw from Kirishima just previously. Can XMS even save this gun?
He's given the sound cues away, and he is being hunted. But he's staying deep into market, so he has a fair chance. But surely Heroic can stabilize now. Surely we are not going to see an absurd repeat performance of the likes that we just witnessed. Surely not. 5 rounds. That's not that many in this particular situation. The CT side broke. Here we go. Freiburg factoids. Even with glasses, I'm not reading that one. I'm being trolled, I'm sure. All right then, the CT side going for the Forceru. But I think this is a comeback time now for Heroic. This is the time where they stabilize. They get the consecutive rounds. This force buy, if Envy lose it, will absolutely ruin them. And suddenly 5 rounds is not such a big task for them, for the Heroic side.
Kirishima waiting there, behind the smoke. It's pistols again, he's got a deagle. Oh my God. It's definitely a scary situation here for Heroic. Kishima making sure no one's boosted up just yet, and he'll have a late check of middle. He's got a decent timing, I think. There's someone spotting from far away by Chair, but doesn't have an angle just yet. Kishima gets another one, and he does get traded out, but some good info there for Envyus as they wait for the push.
3 CTs remain. Rubino spotting XMS in a CT position, but he has a deagle. Taking over from Kishima, perhaps. 2 CTs close, but this just continues. Now they've got the man advantage. Doesn't last very long, though. Scream with the FAMAS, taking off Nico. And Freiburg, he has to buy time. He has to hold on. There is no defuse kit for these being carried by these Envy players. They're not sure as to where Freiburg is. He's not peeking just yet. He's not believing this. And there surely is a second tap for Scream, starting to hold on now. Freiburg not peeking just yet, but no way is this a 10-second defuse. Scream is holding on. He goes, oh, that's a great spread from him. Very nice spread from Freiburg. Finally, a consecutive round is won.
Very nice spread indeed.
Prioritizes the person defusing the bomb over the person covering.
Delicious.
Really nice stuff from him.
Spreading that Nutella, maybe, James.
No reaction. He knows that is just one round. He's not going to get too excited. It is about getting 16 rounds, not 8.
And full eco from Envyus. Heroic making the climb back. And not really much. There's no deagles even in this round. I feel like that's really been the most dangerous thing from some of those Envyus players. A taser. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I wonder if we'll see anybody get caught by that. It's rare that you see people even buy them these days. I'm so curious if you're going to kill that.
On rounds such as this, where you know your opponent is unlikely to have Kevlar, it's nice to drop a HE grenade down there. It's something that Ninjas in Pyjamas did for a time, because normally, obviously, you see somebody drop a flashbang as they move down there, but NIP would sometimes throw 1, sometimes 2 HE grenades in that position. And if you're there with no Kevlar, like a CZ or P250, that's going to do big damage, big damage. You can do 101 damage to somebody who does not have Kevlar if the grenade hits them and then explodes. So it is possible to kill someone who is in that position, although I think about 60 damage would be, you'd be happy with that as well.
Pap, 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 pap. Here comes a push into the side. There's a few pistols laying around here. No deagles, no CZs they're ready to worry about, so... But the taser. Straight through the window. Couldn't close the distance enough. He's maybe like a half a second away. He's got to pull the trigger and get the kill.
What is that? What's that running game where you have a button for each limb and it's really hard to even stand up?
Quap.
Quap. That was a quap. Quap death.
XMS really wants an AEK. I think, did he? Oh, he knows. He knows. Hello. Oh. Oh, he doesn't realize. Doesn't realize in time. There's a potential for a kill. 9 rounds now for Heroic. 3 away, of course. Quick maths. And we've got Envyus now with a rifle buy and 6 is back on the AWP. And they've got a lot of things that they can experiment with.
Maybe next time. There we go. He played Dota. Thanks, guys. I was expecting some kind of banana reference, but I'm glad that is over now.
See, I played Dota. Have you played Dota, James?
I've never played an MMO, and I never will.
An MMO.
Whatever it's called. 12-9 in favor of Envy. Kishima doing some damage, but that will not be enough. Scream is here to try and clean up the mess, but Nico has to be careful. 3 HP, he might want to move away. He is the only person near the bomb. Not the biggest of deals for the time being, but Scream is coming for it, but he can't fire up, he can't land the bullet, unlike him. I don't know if you would have seen the bomb. It's hard to tell on radar where exactly it is, especially with those boxes there instead of the ladder. There are some different blind spots now in that region, but enough about that for now. Second of 3 CT players remaining, moving into the B bomb site, which seems to be the focus of Heroic. S-Tag is in connector, And Sixer is on A ramp for the time being, wondering what is going on.
This might work out for Envyus because they're playing A retake at the moment. And the rotation from the man in CT, Sixer, is not enormous. The only issue he may have is getting caught as he rotates through the vents. Or by the vent, that is. 30 seconds, all okay. They're just offering up a fake. Interesting stuff. Oh, this is really interesting. S-Tag going through now, looking to perhaps catch the rotation. Oh, the backstab is strong. No one was covering for that. And there you go.
You got played, bro.
Yeah. It is very gambly. You just kind of sit there. But there's not much you can do sometimes. And the AWP cannot be saved. They will save the M4s though. And with the loss bonus that they've accrued, maybe we'll be looking at a buy. They're going to have $2,900 in the next rounds. So it will be possible for Hadji and XMS to drop FAMAS, like 2 FAMASs or something like that. Maybe UMPs, like it depends on what they prefer. And then they can actually go for a buy, but it's not going to be great, to be honest. No AWP. The utility might be a bit hard to come by. So this is getting really awkward for Envyus, to be honest.
How many CT rounds have they won? Well, they won a pistol, they won a 4 spies, so they haven't really won a buy round. I think it's fair to say. Yet to see them win a buy round. They are. Well, they should be on eco again. They saved 2 rifles, but if they bought around them, I think it would just ruin their money, and they need a full investment round to see what they can do. They need to change their fortunes. So again, that deficit all of a sudden is not so anymore.
Nice.
That's a great one from S-Tag. He lines up away from the corner of his peak, so as soon as his brain registers that the player is there, the player will be in his crosshair when he clicks, and there we go. Marvelous stuff for Heroic to kick things off. 2 rifles still lurk though for the CT side, one of which is on the balcony of B at the moment, although XMS appears to be repositioning. Six has got a forward position in the shadow area of A. Hadji around short. Or is he in the window? Oh, there is a mid-take from Heroic. They've got the numbers. And it looks like they will split the B-bomb sides.
Okay, this is going to be tough for Envyus to hold on to anything here. Utility being used well, and position gains quickly by Heroic. Actually, with some spray, and I actually like the idea to go for the spray there. He may very well have caught somebody, but obviously punished immediately. Well handled by Heroic, and they're looking to go pretty clean rounds here. Definitely a large argument for Envyus to maybe try to play an aggressive setup with the 2 pistols and then just save the M4. They could steal an AK or something, that would be marvelous, but unlikely. Heroic will be going to 11, so 1 away from tying up the series, the map. Sorry, not the series.
I like the bomb plant. I think that's one of the stronger bomb plants on the B bomb site where they planted the bomb, because you can see the bomb from the apartment. However, if there is a CT on the site, I do believe they can defuse the bomb without being seen. But it gives you, from balcony that is, but it gives you additional options. If you're on the balcony, you can throw a Molotov onto the site. Having high ground advantage post plant is always great. So if you can plant in that position and you have control of the short area, it is worth a squirt. 1 round away now are Heroic versus Envy. S-Tag with an AWP, 4 AKs for the T side. Sixer is buying a sniper rifle of his own. I want to say that... Actually, I'm not going to say it's the first time I've seen it, I'm not even sure. But we'll see if it can be effective for Envy, if it can change their fortunes, because the cookies seem to have gone bad.
Yeah, it's not looking good so far. Again, at the moment, it's just really Kishima and Scream doing the big damage. So we need to see at least like one other player from Envyus sort of starting to have like a bit of a game.
Can I quickly say, Dan? You see that there was a CT boost for Sixer to take that angle. That is the fastest way to take that peak. If he jumps, you saw Moddy was running and bouncing through the apps. If he tries to jump on the boxes, Moddy's going to shoot him in the face before he's got his landing accuracy sorted out.
Sixer now is preparing himself for the push. Ooh, he actually tagged Moddy there. Oh, he pulls out he's not sure what he's doing. I don't think at this point, like, what is actually happening there? Putting out a grenade, pulling out the gun, not even scoping back up again. Really awkward there for Sixer. And now actually trying to do the defense here. He does get some damage, takes down Freiburg. But this is going to be really hard to break into a 4-man post-plant setup on B. Again, though, I'm really curious, like, what happened to Sixer? Like, he's hanging with his mouse or something, I'm not sure.
This is, I don't think this is winnable. With Modi on the high ground, as we mentioned in the previous rounds, I think Envy need to fall back. They do have kits. If they fall back, they can buy in the next round. If they go for it, they probably get wiped. And then they probably lose the lead. I mean, it's going to be tied, but Heroic will take the lead, let's say. So I'm glad that they do choose to fall back. Ooh, that's really nice from Scream, saving his teammate as well. Not so bad. Kimishima trying to hunt for something, anything. Yeah, but that was an awkward situation. He didn't scope because it was too late to do that, and it would have conceded his position. But it was possible that he could have been on the low ground from his perspective. So if he scopes, I think it confirms that he's on the high ground, and he might get wrecked, which is why it goes for the no-scope. But he's close enough that a fair amount of the time he will hit the no-scope. But the whole sequence was awkward.
It was weird, though, because he pulls out the grenade and then pulls out the rifle, then just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that part
seemed like something's going on.
That part was indecision, one can imagine. S-Tag not seeing XMS through the flames. That is a sniper's nightmare. It wasn't even scoped in, though, but it is an element of randomness when you've got two people looking through some flames. I know there was a bug being abused by people before. I think it was fixed. Now, if you're wondering, if you don't know what the purpose of that smoke grenade is, that CTs throw through connector that bounces off the wall, it stops the Ts from taking connector and allows the CTs to see over the smoke, which is often OP, and the CTs can see through the smoke, and it's very disadvantageous for the Ts to engage around that smoke. They've got to respect it. So it has a number of advantages for the CT side.
This might be a bit better for Envyus because their setup on A is fairly good. Kimishima playing sandwich, and the split will be coming in momentarily for Heroic. These splits have been working out really consistently for them, though. And you can see once again, they just walk out, get an easy frag, Sixers down, and now Kimishima has to go pretty huge once again. Will he be able to do this? Looking to go for the trade. That's one. Second one won't happen. It's a good AWP kill coming in from the likes of Rubino. And the bomb site's lost once again. So Scream, we were seeing him in a lot of spots here where before he can really get too involved, it's already looking really bad. Now there's nothing really Hadji can do. Oh dear. So yeah. I mean, it seems like Envyus just can't, they're not able to do much to contest mid-control. And Heroic are consistently able to just set up these splits into the A site, and they just always seem to get the better of the connector push.
The timing was unfortunate for Envy in that connector area. There was a flash from Firebox for Sixer to peek, which is why he was facing the wall, and the T's just came out and shot him in the back of the head.
In the head.
So given another half a second, maybe that goes the other way. Such is life. That's a really important kill from Rubino. Not necessarily easy in a high-pressure situation like that, delivering another one towards CT as well. Really good stuff from him. Don't see him on the AWP very often. And there it is, the lead for Heroic. We have a tactical pause. And the money is there for the most part for Envyus, and it seems they will buy.
So I get to pause from Envyus as they take a moment to regroup themselves, because they are starting to lose control of their situation. They have not really won any CT rounds, as James mentioned before. They won a force buy in the pistol. And since then, it's just been problem after problem. And
7 rounds in a row for Heroic.
Yeah, that's not a good look. 3 rounds is what Envyus need to secure in overtime. And even getting 1 round at this point seems very unlikely. And they're going to double up on the Orbs. Kimishima offering up an AWP. And this may be a good change, I think. And, you know, one thing that would be nice to see is more mid-control from Envyus, more aggression, just being more proactive, because Heroic are just allowed to set up stuff too easily. And Sixer might get abused here as someone crept past him.
I think he was slightly slow on the peak there. He is blind. Perfect for Modi. Charging into the B bomb site, and there will be an exchange of tags, but mostly goes in favor of Scream. Modi down to 1 HP now, but he's still alive. That means he's a problem. One player should stay in apartments for Heroic, and it seems it is safe territory already for Envy. So I think Sixer went around his teammate on that peak, maybe because of the slope. He might not have been able to jump. But that half a second gave the T player time to go beyond the angle, and then it just all fell apart from there, really.
Envyus need to be, I mean, this round not so much, but like in general, I really want to see more proactive CT play from them. Like shut down some areas of the map, get some information, you know, force some spots where Heroic will have to adjust how they handle the round. Don't allow them to play in comfort where they just get to, you know, run a drill.
They did try to do that towards the B-bomb sites at least. Some boosts, the ones I have seen more of in the past are in the first corner that you see, but they're going to the opposite corner, so I don't know. Well, we saw that a T got way beyond the angle before they peaked, so it seems that there can be some problems. And a lot of people fancy that fast play through B-apps. You see snipers like JDM and Alu quite fancy doing that, and riflers as well aren't shy to do it. You saw Modi doing it earlier on, and they did it again that round, and now it gives them a very strong position, 14-12. But Envy did take the conservative route, and that allows them to have a bye here in round 27.
Kiyashima might finally get an opportunity to work this AWP as he opens things up with a defensive kill as Tag tries to push through that smoke. It's a good start there for Envyus. Maybe a start that they can build something from. We'll see the quick connector take from Freiburg. Again, connector has very much been the friends of Heroic so far.
Yeah, what can they do about this connector control? Not particularly in a position to try and retake it. Freiburg charging out of connector now, trying to catch Victor off guard, smoking off the jungle position. Now he's got a three-pronged assault of the A site, and XMS is stuck in the middle of it. Kishima, what does he do? Does he try to pick a player off towards the ramp position? Freiburg spotting XMS, stereo frags both sides. And now Scream looking to emerge through jungle while Modi cuts off a player. I don't know where that flashbang came from. And again, it's 1-4-1, favoring Envy. Haji's looking towards the B-bomb site. They haven't seen a bomb just yet. Nico creeping out. I don't know if it would have come up on the radar. Indeed, it has. Haji rotating immediately, but Scream's been dropped. Kishima's on his own, getting his bell rung multiple times through the box. And now Haji, he can't get to A fast enough. But Heroic are not playing too fast. I don't know where he is. Could be on the flank, could be coming from connector, could be coming from jungle. And their patience will pay off. Game point for Heroic.
That spray from Nico, he has to have rehearsed that. That hit Kiyashima in the head like 3 times or something. I think Kiyashima was staying in position because he's like, well, I'm taking damage, but you know, it will end at some point. But it just like the spray just did not come in until he died.
Yeah, well, once you hit the first one, ding dong, you know there's a guy there.
But Nico was really far away, I think. Like, wasn't he at around A pit? Either way.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So that's, I mean, well.
Well. We've seen fun things from there, from JW spraying that position when he dropped a grenade in front of himself to create mist. And then sprayed through that and killed somebody. Yeah,
good old JW. So Heroic with a very nice comeback so far. Impressive way back into the T side. Envyus just, they can't find the performances they need so far on this CT side, and it could all be over here. They do have some rifles at the very least to try to contend this round with, but you see Heroic are really confident to just work pretty much whatever they want on the map. Just staying passive towards the middle position, perhaps expecting an aggression, although the only aggression really is Kiyashima here going through the underpass, and he is being waited for by Nico. Oh my god, the timing. Oh, I thought Kiyashima was going to continue going. That could have been devastating.
Picked his timing well. 56 seconds on the clock before he peaks that area. You've got to be really patient as a CT, and the reward can be outstanding. But they're about to draw their guns once again. Can he get both? No, just the one. And he does not see the bomb. So what information do Envy have here? XMS and 6 are not rotating. They haven't seen the bomb. It could still be A. It could be a fake. They only saw 2 players, and they are not mistaken. But now 6 is alone. Missing the first shot on the player in shadow. Missing the second shot as well. He can't miss these shots. They don't have the personnel. Finally, Freiburg getting taken out, but he's about to get barbecued. There he goes. Another rotisserie chicken. We've got Nico on the flank top mid. Scream just moving into connector. Not sure if he was spotted, but Nico's in a strong position. Just needs to walk. I don't think Nico saw Scream. Looks like he's still waiting for people to rotate, so Scream has an opportunity, but S-Hag and Rubino have fallen all the way out of the sights.
Yeah, in his dying breath, 6 was able to get an AWP shot onto Rubino through the box, so he being as weak as he is, maybe there's a chance. There is an incendiary. There's utility here for the CTs to work with. It is going to be very important to use it. It's going to be tossed now by Haji. Here comes the spray from Nico. Long distance, he's going to make it work there from the catwalk. That makes things really hard for Scream. He doesn't seem to realize that Nico's in middle. Now he does. He's had the call, but he would be taken out by the bomb blast. And that's it. Heroic managed to make a great comeback. It was a pretty awful start, to be honest. It looked really favorable for Envyus, but they were unable to win a single buy round. Envyus did not win a single buy round on their CT side of Mirage. That is a problem.
10 rounds in a row, 11 from the last 12 for Heroic. Scream knew it was too late to defuse the bomb there, so time to go for the stats, I suppose. But that's a great comeback for Heroic. They were confident, didn't have the best of starts, but 10 rounds in a row. And that is fantastic momentum, a great resurgence moving into the last map of this series, which is going to be Train. So I think there are a lot of advantages to be had there now for Heroic.
Indeed. So it's time to hear the thoughts of the gentleman on the desk.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Dan. Yes, thoughts of two men on the panel who are no doubt have a lot to say about game number 2. It wasn't quite what we thought it was going to be, but in the end, the result was exactly what we thought it would be, and we're tied up between the two teams, Envy and Heroic at 1 game all. Duncan, we said it would be 1-1, but that was a much tougher game for Heroic, save for the last 10 rounds that they won in a row.
Yes, but the issue here is when you look at the game in totality, actually Heroic should have won this game much, much easier. I mean, a bunch of the CT rounds that Envyus did get were obviously absolutely inexplicable deagle rounds that you wouldn't expect them to even pull off. And that's after a fabulous T-half where you think, right, you've got a chance to win the game. But that shows when you don't play a map, basically. They didn't really have any cohesion on CT side. Sixer apparently still thinks he can use an AWP. Don't know why that is, you know. Eventually, Kiyoshima just took it off him and said, give that A. This is how you use it. I mean, this is what he should have been doing, but he wasn't, sadly. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, Kiyoshima, what a fabulous game. Bearing in mind the guy's the in-game leader as well. So he's called a game in which you've got, what, 9, 10 rounds on the T side. Then he's dropping 30+. Even when he loses the game, he finishes with 120-something ADR. There's only one man could stop him, and that was the aforementioned Sixer. Because unfortunately, it's not just that Sixer wasn't getting kills, but he plays with the most expensive gun, and he plays the B apartments, and he was playing it like contact style. You know, he wasn't playing super far back. And so when he whiffs all those shots, unfortunately, there's an easy entrance into the B site. And where does Kiyoshima play? In the A site. So this is one of those easy times where you can kind of avoid the guy who's got the hot hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, I sadly actually have to kind of agree with Warren. This had all the makings for the upset in the early part, right? Scream
awesome.
got the insane pistol round. Right after that, we see Kiyoshima get the double spray down through the smoke on Cat. They're up 5-0. They end up winning an eco round, and they have one good strat that resets them after that eco round. They have the perfect first half for an upset. Second half starts, they win the pistol, and you're like, oh, okay, they can do this. They get ecoed. Then you see them eco them back with this Kiyoshima round. The following round, Sixer jumps out into middle all by himself, kind of falls. And that's where things just fell apart, right? I think also, there's also actually the 1v2 by Freiburg that we just saw. So that round, actually, when that happened, I looked over to Dunk, I was like, they're going to lose this map. And that was, you know,
he did actually say
it was 12-8.
Yes.
And it's because I felt like Envyus needed to win the economy battle, and that was the round that took it away from them, right? All the wind got taken out of their sails, however that saying goes. And yeah, they just fell apart. They had nothing at that point.
That's all right. I got Cow's ass and Banjo round the wrong way earlier when I was talking to Duncan about it. I mean, it is how both of you said it would turn out. We both said it. You both said it would be very much Heroic would look much better this map. They did. Envy would look much worse this map. They did. But despite two outstanding performances, Kiyoshima 31 for 22, 120 ADR, and 25 and 15 off an 84 ADR for Scream. That's like two of them going plus 25 in a game, and they still can't win more than 12 rounds.
Well, the problem here is, like, first of all, obviously the distribution when you get down to the bottom end of the equation was really bad for Envyus. But this is also why it's the difference between sometimes you might win a game like this. That doesn't mean you were good on the map, though, because on the T side, you can choose the pace you go at. You can choose how you take attacks. You can take the fights that you want to take. CT side, you were at the whim of the other team. I mean, you saw when they were starting to get desperate and they were losing all those rounds on the CT side, Envyus, they just started doing ridiculous pushes. Like one man just push all the way up the top of mid and get insta-fragged at the beginning of the round and then executes that are just slow mid pushes. Now you can just isolate and get that A site anytime you want.
Yeah, they did the infamously terrible thing that you don't want to do if you're good on a map. They gave up the first kill, and then they just got out mid-gamed entirely throughout the entire, like their second half. And you just can't have that when you're the underdog. Like you have to either play 5v5 or in the 5v4 every round. They just couldn't.
Some of those incredible stats are on screen, as Duncan pointed out. A much more widely distributed spread is on the Heroic, whereas on Envy you can see it's very lopsided right now with Scream and Kyo dominating. MVP, Sean, do you want to pick someone out?
Honestly, I think Kiyoshima would have to be the MVP, even though they lost. He put up like a phenomenal performance. He was by far the best player in the server, and I think if his team actually had some teamwork at all on their CD side, they walk away with a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think we looked at round, I want to say 19 or 20, and he already had 27 kills on the board. Like, that's insane.
Which is also, sadly, like, you might think, oh, did he just play poorly beyond that? No, they just never went to his site, and they would take care of the guys at B, and then when they would come to his site, it was 3 people coming on onto one spot. Obviously, he was playing over near the ticket booth. That's the nightmare spot if they already have connector control. You can't do a whole lot there. I mean, there was one round, he just got shot through a box by Nico without even being peeked, so that's what happens when the other team comes. I obviously would have gone with a different MVP. But this is where I want to really test whether or not this graphics guy can do it, because my MVP would obviously be Sixer from Envyus, because he's the only man who could contain and neutralize Kiyoshima.
By the power of TV invested in Thorin.
He was the MVP for Heroic. You know, it turns out they had a sleeper agent the whole time.
He's going to gut you with that knife.
Yeah, he'd miss. He'd go for the left click with that and miss, wouldn't he? So I'd diffuse in the smoke and he'd be in there doing that, wouldn't he?
Sound effect game on point.
It was, yeah. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
I like that.
You both can do it.
It's a British thing. You'll learn. We'll teach you.
That's why they haven't to get rid of all the knives now.
Game 3 then. All down to the last game. Do you favour one or the other?
This is also the reason why I hoped Envyus would just complete the upset is I have no idea what to expect from this train game. I mean, for a start off, every game I've seen where Envyus has actually been good has required, like, big numbers from Scream. Yeah. Obviously, this game here to even have a chance basically took, like, a monster performance from Kiyoshima. So, on average, if I think of the game I've seen so far, I'd probably have to slightly hedge it towards the Heroic guys. They actually look like a more cohesive team. They didn't look like they collapsed in the same way, whereas Envyus, they've certainly had some fabulous T-sides, but they're going so much when they get to the CT side off pure individual play, and I never like to bank on that, you know.
Yeah, I kind of actually agree with Duncan. So Envyus hasn't shown me anything tactically that says they're going to win this map, but their players, mainly Kiyoshima and Scream, are performing well, which does bode a little bit well in Train because you have a lot of open area fights. But Heroic as a team, they have so much more structure and organization. I would side towards them, but yeah, the hot hands are on Envyus right now, so it actually could go either way.
All right. Well, an indecisive panel. What do you know? Not difficult when you've got two teams in a little bit disarray, changing players left, right, and centre with standards and all sorts of other things going on as well. Not a surprise then that neither of them have any idea how the third game's going to go, which is coming up after the break.
大家好，欢迎来到 CAC 采访。那我们这边也是很有幸邀请到 Scream 来做这个采访环节。So I guess the first thing that we would like to talk to you about is your team's form right now. The past couple of matches that you guys played, things didn't look that good. So what's it like inside the team right now, and how are you guys doing?
Yeah, we had a really bad period, I would say, since we created this team for like 3 or 4 months. I had like really high expectations with this team because we have, I think, better players than we had before. But it didn't really work out, and the team form, you know, the team confidence is not that good. But yeah, every time we go to an event, we try our best. So we are not like down or something like that.
So is the team really motivated right now?
Yeah, it is, and especially when we. Right now we don't play with the roster we had, like with the 2018 roster. We play with another different roster because 2 of our players didn't come here, and we replaced them with 2 like older players, you know, that we had before in 2017. So it's a totally different team now when we are really motivated to show that we can do something here.
So what are your goals and expectations for this tournament?
Well, I think for everyone the first goal is to go through the group stage. But for me, I think I want to go to the semi-finals at least, and because I think we can do it, and I really want to do it. And, yeah.
And like now that you're in Shanghai, I know you didn't really have a lot of time, but like, how are you feeling? Like, what do you think of this place so far?
I didn't go out. We didn't go out yet because we came yesterday evening. But I'm looking forward, man. It looks really good. I heard a lot of good things, and the weather is amazing. So I really can't wait to have a day off. And 大家好，我是跑特哥。你好，太当什么？
Thank you for taking the time for this interview, and best of luck in the tournament. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time for this interview, and best of luck in the tournament. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time for this interview, and best of luck in the tournament. Thank you.
Ni ha thai tang sama.
Thank you for taking the time for this interview, and best of luck in the tournament. Thank you.
Welcome back. It's time for map 3. We've got Heroic, we have Envyus. Both teams, it's a bit of a toss-up. We had it on the analyst desk. No one really seems to know who's going to win. I like how Sean Gers put it. You've got a more organized and strategic team, but the other team has the hot hands. So Envyus will be definitely wanting to win this pistol. I think the T side is going to be more difficult for Envyus, honestly. At least here they get to defend, they get to play in the basic rotations. And if they start off well with the pistol, and the pistols have been pretty good. Like, their pistols have been better than Heroic. Then life could be good.
Envy will have Kishima with a HE grenade and a defuse kit. Not your usual smoke and a HE, sorry, smoke and a defuse kit.
I like that. I think it makes a lot of sense. If you anticipate they go for the B-bomb site, I think the HE can be more readily impactful than the smoke.
And he is at the back of B, Kishima. But the numbers game will be towards Ivy. 6 to go to some pre-fires. Trying to bait it back for his teammate. They'll come in for a crossfire. 6 will get 2 of the 3. Freiberg finished off on the A site. Modi may be a last to fall. Here's the rotation. Haji has conceded his position, but is not over peaking. And there's that HE grenade. Modi will eventually die.
Of course. Like, let me hold this angle.
Haji got headshot, which means he can still upgrade his Kevlar, or add a helmet to his Kevlar for 350. His Kevlar was untouched. Always nice. Heroic with the force buy, everybody buying some armor. Modi will be the only man with helmets, some flashes, some grenades. We will see what they can offer to their opponent of Envy. 6 will have the Scout for this round, 2 MP9s, MP7 for XMS. Haji with the only M4. No plant, so they expect some nonsense, and they'll buy the SMGs accordingly.
How can they make this work? Well, I guess there's only one way, really. The numbers, the run and gun. They do have some smokes to dodge betwixt, behind. Screen, though, he's going to start things off well. That's the GG. I think the bomb is lost in Pop Dog. How do you handle this now? Do you try to keep creating space, or do you go back and deal with Scream, who has the bomb? You need to go there eventually. So yeah, it's pretty much dunzos here for Rubino and Heroic. But what he can do is get some more baits for some more damage from some frag-hungry players, and he can't get that damage. Really good job by Scream, did exactly what he needed to do with the MP9, and it's a good start here for Envyus.
Nice. I think it will be easier for Sixer to deliver with the sniper rifle through the narrow channels of train. We will have to wait, though, because it is Glock time for Heroic. Hopefully they'll make it a fast one for us. No. Waiting out any initial grenades. They could run straight into a freight train of shrapnel. So that's fair enough. But what do they do now? No flashes, no grenades, no nothing. Oh, this is perfectly timed! I was excited for that. Headshots will do, but I wanted the grenade there. I needed it. Cannot be teased like this.
Yeah, fast and clean. Envyus now have to contest with the AK-47s. They're going to keep the triple SMGs. Scary stuff. They're going to have to make aggressive plays with these, honestly. Oh, they're going to, okay, good. They're going to drop one for an AWP. Keeping two is cool, though. So they could try to go for an inner push. That's often what you could see. Or, pop flash play aggressively on alley, or just an aggressive alley setup, where you have someone behind the little E-box thing, little generator.
If you get one of those SMGs into Pop Dog, you're pretty much good to go. Hold the headshot angle. XMS is around Ivy with the MP7, so he can spot for the most part, which appears to be what he's doing. An aggressive play made into the main area, but Freiburg is ready for it. Hadji will replace this position, however, and this could be the surprise they don't expect, although Freiburg is holding lines for this, and it seems Hadji might press on in main. Okay, he's holding this position, but as you can see, Heroic are expectant of this. They are not going to get caught off guard easily.
Yeah, they know that they survive with a bunch of SMGs, so like as I highlighted at the beginning of the round, there's a bunch of really common plays there. A-main's another one of them. And it's really cool that we see Envyus like just pop a player in A-main, really force Heroic to hard clear it if they want it to be safe, but they haven't done that. So that risk from Hadji is going to pay off, because as the inner hit comes in, he can get aggressive pretty quickly. And that said,
wow,
Rubino gets a kill coming out of alley. That's going to be really distracting here for Envyus.
He made a play through a smoke, and that's going to keep Hadji contained in the main area, who's only starting now to flank the players. Kishima, the spray transfer, respects it, but the gun just wasn't good enough. We've got Sixer at the back of the site. I think he's on the trains. There are 4 smokes down on B at the moment. He is surely going to get caught off guard from the high ground, and Hadji is not going to get there in time. So Sixer's now in no man's land, up close with the AWP, and Hadji will be coming up from up high. I think that needed to be the other way around, really. Release Sixer holding an angle where he could retreat while Hadji comes in. So it will be Hadji now, 1 versus 2. Heroic on the opposite side of the site. It is a side plant, which pretty much is a GG for Hadji. You might see a flashbang, but at this point, his only role is to try to save the AWP, which he'll have to hope the bomb sends in his direction. Never mind. Nico will wipe out the CT side, and Heroic get their first round on the board, but it costs them all but 1 player, so they will be short on everything, Heroic.
Yeah, and 2 guns not rebought last round because they held onto 2 SMGs, so it's afford Envyus an opportunity to be able to buy, and they will. They got the M4, so they got another op onto Hadji, so I imagine he will swap that out with Sixer potentially, and we'll see whether or not that's going to work out this time. Because if it doesn't, well, actually Hadji's holding on to it, so it's going to be fun to see that. He's got a spawn, and he's very fast to watch over T main. So okay, looks like no fast play there from Heroic. Nothing to abuse just yet. Are they just going to try to walk in at? That would be interesting. Kiyashima is awaiting them, though.
Sometimes see a fast play attempted, expecting only 1 CT to be in the B bomb sites. And here comes some grenades. I think there's a Molotov towards the default position. Can the T's try to advance their area? Kishima completely blind, but Mori will get traded immediately, and indeed, it's Freiburg who is trying to advance the position. The deeper the T's can get, the better situation they are in post-plant. 4-on-4 retake. Freiburg picked off, though. Sixer retaining the high ground, but now that smoke has dissipated, but he will escape. Nico unable to pick him off.
Ooh, the flames burn as tag. retake is absolutely on here. Down to 2 players for Heroic. There's the molly bounced off, but is there a smoke? I don't know that there is a smoke. Oh, there was one on the bomb actually already. So very nicely done. Set it up in advance. Rubino tries to follow up, but he can't do it. Scream just, you know, holding that defuse button, just casually clipping some wires as he gets shot in the back, and it will be successful. So this is good. Definitely more comfort here from Envyus. And if we cast our minds back to previous Envyus lineups, this was always a good go-to map for them.
Sixer is charged up. He is ready, happy with that. I don't know how on earth that Molotov killed him. He was miles away from it. But the saving grace for Heroic is that they planted the bomb. Otherwise, they might have an extra eco round. But they should be good to buy in the next round rather than the one after that.
I wish there was like a visual representation of the flames, like the ones that killed him, where you see like everything's flat and then like, there's some flames that are like 10 feet high, just like directly below him. So
invisible heat flame that you see above the visible yellows and reds and blues. Spread the wealth. Too much sugar in Heroic's diet for this round. No bomb plants. That was the main goal, if not the only one. 5-1. Heroic are good to go. Ooh, finally, the Freiburg stats. Could it be real? Freiburg played as a substitute for Dota 2 team Vegetables Esports Club. I did not know that. In 1991. Oh, no, he was born in 1991. I was like, wait a minute.
Jesus.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god. I actually think I know the people from that team. I'm in a Dota.
You're a vegetable.
Channel.
You're a vegetable. You
Of
joined the
that
team.
name. Vegetables. Anyway, we shall see. Oh, there's another one. Oh, we get a treat. Haji, what have you been up to, Haji? Eh? Oh god, I can't read that.
He was promoted
far
from
away.
Envyus Academy team in February 2018 to replace Sixer in this one.
Nice.
And now Sixer's back.
We'll request a program closer to us. And I'll get the spectacles out. Get the monocle out.
Do you have perfect vision?
I don't think I do, no. But right now, I'm wearing sunglasses because I'm very photosensitive right now, James. The light is hard to see my eyes.
I don't know what's wrong with you, man. You got problems.
I haven't been sleeping very much. That's probably what it is. It's double ops here for Envyus, so they are definitely not having problems. It is looking quite good for them. Freiburg taking a very fast route onto the bomb train. That could be quite surprising. I wonder if Envyus are completely locked out of the bomb site, and this is kind of scary. The retake with the 2 ops might be difficult. That's a very fast drag from Scream, though. That will start things off quite nicely. And they have a decent amount of nades there for the retake. It's mostly on Kiyoshima, though. Oh, my God. OK, things looking bad. The ops didn't even get to fire a shot, I don't think.
Freiburg was putting in work around the bomb train. He picked off 2 players. Scream will pick him off, but this is an expensive round for Envy and not one they are going to win. He'll try to hold on to the sniper rifle. That was a very quick execute from Heroic, and I thought maybe Envy, well, I thought they would have to just wait out the smokes, just wait them out. But I could hear the crowd enjoying even the AWP pick from Scream. They're loving it, despite them having lost the round. 2 players will survive for each team. And yeah, we didn't see the frags from Freiburg, but he got 2 frags around the bomb train, and that pretty much crushed everything. So we'll see if it pops up here. No, it won't.
Bosh. And see ya. Very nice from Scream. You can see in the interview as well that we saw in the break that Scream, is super motivated with this lineup, and that's absolutely going to be one of the reasons why you've been seeing a better performance from him. And they're in they have a really good chance to make a semi-finals at this tournament, and they would play Na'Vi if they were to win this, I do believe. I think it's Tali versus VP for the other side of the bracket, and playoff bracket. And XMS has the job. He's got the disgusting job of playing Ali, being the rifler who looks after Rally.
It's the most important job.
It's one of the most difficult positions on this map to play as CT, I think. Well, actually, I would say it's the most difficult one at times, because you want to get information, you want to slow them down, but you can't die at the same time. So it's really difficult to walk that line, because if you die, it's just so hard, but you can't also disappear. You have to be active.
It's a really important area for the T's to control if they want to plant the bomb on A. Otherwise, often it means all the smokes or a plant at back train. which is not so common. S-Tag and Rubino starting to move through, but Sixer from the middle of A will pick S-Tag off at the very least. Not sure if he saw him or what. There's Freiberg now charging through, trying to get his Chris J on. Sixer still in this position. One of the more unusual positions to pick players from Ivy, but doing really well is Sixer on train. Spotting both of the final plays as well. Got to communicate that to his team. Not good for the last kill though. 2-on-2 now. There is time pressure for Heroic. They've got to get this bomb down, and they still don't have control of that Ivy position, and that's why it's so important. Cut the site in half, and there's no way for Nico to plant the bomb. Or is there?
Now there is, yeah. What is he going to read from this situation? Because it's a complete repositioning from XMS. He went for it a while ago. He probably thinks that XMS is still alley or back lines. Indeed, he's looking towards those positions. XMS realizes that he likely has a drop on his opponent as he closes the distance. One bullet is all that's required. Scream is nodding, I'm sure. Very happy with that. Nicely done there from Envyus. A much needed round after their economy was put under a lot of pressure. But now they can start to build the money once again.
It's so huge what positioning can do in just one round. I'm not even sure. I think he was half blind and took the shot in synchronous with the player peeking the angle. That was really cool stuff. Well played by Sixer to get the multi-frag. And a perfect move up the ladder gives his team complete information. And again, that Ivy position is so important, especially when you're trying to plant the bomb as a T side.
Damn. Scream 14-3.
Wow.
Damn. He's having a game.
He's doing a ting.
Having a game.
Say in London. We have a tactical timeout at the moment, presumably from Heroic. I can even check it is. Yes, S-Tag called the pause. This is the last map of the series, being down 2-6. Not a great start for them. The Envy side are not making money just yet. Again, they've only just won that last round before losing the one prior. So there are still opportunities for Heroic, and Envy by no means are running away with this half just yet. But they are facing a 5-round deficit, and they will do their best to break that with an eco here as they look to buy worst case scenario in the next round.
Ooh, look at them go. Nice with the SMGs. Heroic aren't going to expect this. This will be very disruptive. Is the bomb that side is what it is, yeah. Oh dear. Oh, now they know, but he's going to drop into the seas. Oh no! Oh, it's going really, really wrong, but Scream's able to clean up. But the bomb is down there and he's got 3 HP. He gets chased by Rubino. He knows he loads, but he just runs out of bullets right at the end there. But he gets the frag on the last one, so it's okay. That was ridiculously, catastrophic.
Freiberg is an E-box, which is why Heroic have not charged towards the B-bomb site, because with those frags, you would assume that the B-bomb site will be open. XMS quickly ran over there. He is now in connector, and Sixer, again, he's just trying to hold that Ivy position. Now he's safe there. He can concentrate on the site. He needs to get this angle. Tags one player, but 2 have crossed already. Moving forward now with a pistol. XMS, does he go through the smoke? Oh, Sixer with 2 kills with the USP. Running distraction, that allows XMS into the site at the very least. Rubino knows where he is, though. And now he can play Ring Around the Rosie, musical chairs, but XMS is holding. He's going for the hero defuse. He has reasonable cover, but Rubino dinks him immediately and finishes him off. And that is the round for Heroic. We were expecting damage, not that much.
Yeah, that's the very definition of something backfiring, I think. The SMGs, you looked at it and you're like, this is going to be good, and then the worst happens. The CZ comes into play. It's always really weird as well when you're shooting at someone who's directly above you in the pop dog position. You always see it where the guy who's below gets headshots really easily, even if it looks like he's shooting into people's feet. It's really odd, but it's pretty powerful. Now it's Envyus on the CZs here. That was supposed to be the round where they build the money, but instead they lost all of it, and now they need to rely on their pistols. They do have some utility, which is quite cool, but it's mostly flashbangs. It would be more fun, I think, if there were smokes, a couple of smokes as well. You can only afford so much. If Six is able to get a headshot and a tag or something like that, this could be a very interesting round. He's putting the fear of God into them with that scout, just rattling it off, saying to Heroic, "I'm here. Hello."
Where is Scream? He is inside main. And that will be a problem, especially as Heroic are running the clock down. No smokes here for the NV side. Will a fake be offered towards the B bomb side? The bomb is slowly going towards Ivy, and we reached the 45-second mark, Hadji and XMS around Ivy. So unless Modi and S-Tag pull rotation, ooh, Kiyashima spotting the info, and that's a full rotation from Hadji and XMS. Scream looking towards Ivy, but they've already moved up. Oh dear, they had such crucial positions. Now Scream going back to main, wondering what's going on. There are 4 CTs in the B bomb site, so this has worked to a T for Heroic, but they're really running the clock down in an eco run, which is quite scary. So far, so good though. Bomb planted, back trains, S-Tag in the pop dog position, so they've got good map control.
How do you do this? There's a drop. Scream gets the kill. Good trade, though he did lose a lot of health in the effort. Down to 39. Freiburg's going to be looking for that. That's his responsibility now to check for the pop dog position. Rubino will thin out the Envyus numbers, and they are almost thinned out completely at this point. Just XMS, sole member with the CZs, and 4 bullets left in the magazine. So he's going to run away.
I was wondering if he's trying to go to pop dog to pick up the AK. I think he is.
The bomb blast is going to get him.
Not anymore.
Yeah. HP is too low.
Yeah, that's so unlucky for Envy. If it's funny that Heroic didn't even get a chance to sell the fake. Kishima just popped up, saw somebody, and was like, yeah, they're going B. Because otherwise, I think Heroic were about to lose that round. Almost definitely. Especially with Scream's position in main. But here we are. Heroic win the rounds. They sold the fake very well. Kind of. Just by having someone stand there, essentially. And now Envy are on an eco round. We have Heroic with nice guns. Got a boost. No, you don't have a boost. Kishima and Sixer in the B bomb site for now. Hadji, XMS, and Scream may look to get aggressive. Hadji's aggression has been well and truly rejected, and he's been blocked as well and deleted.
Scream with a casual 18 kills, and that's a pretty good look for him, but they need the rounds, and right now Heroic are putting up a good effort, and I do think that Envyus really going to want to need that. They're going to need words are difficult.
Hello.
They're going to need the comfort of getting rounds or close to around 10 on the board, I think, because I think it's going to be really hard to organize properly on the T side. But that said, there are some basic options you can go to. Scream looking for some shenanigans with that deagle. Does get denied in the end, though. And I like this anti-eco run from Heroic. And
It's quite nice.
yeah, and that's an AK-47, I think. Yeah.
Kishima showing us his prowess once again. Oh, the radio's not playing.
Oh,
I wonder if it's
it's the Chinese version of the map check.
disabled in the in the Chinese version.
No radio music.
Where the music at, man? Where the music at? Hashtag music. Still waiting for Nas's album to come out on my music player of choice. It came out on Friday. It is Sunday, and I still can't see it. I am a tad upset. Where it at? Round number 5 coming the way of Heroic. Envy's buy coming their way as well. Does Kishima hold on to this AK? Does he give it to Scream? Either one, I think, is pretty good for Envy. They're in a good position, but... Ooh, Sixer. Does he have enough for AWP Kevlar? Oh, the music is there. Okay, it's just quieter. Maybe it's my headphones. Yes, AWP and Kevlar for Sixer. Rest of the team on the rifles. Kishima will keep the AK-47, and away they go. Full buy for Heroic. Full grenades, all the toys, all the bits and bobs. No early pick just yet. No early engagement from the T side. No one charging through the main area into A.
Just holding their ground. Holding their ground.
That's a nice angle. I think Sixer is looking for a sniper to be standing on the crate, which is in main, where you'd look over the trains towards Ivy or towards the stop sign position. So that's a nice angle from the CT side.
Yes, people commonly jump up there too. So, ooh, nice flash. That's beautiful. There, setting S-Tag up, and he slam dunks it. That Scream eliminated, and there wasn't much he could do. It was taken out of his hands. And now he sits on the bench watching his teammates try to remedy this. But they have almost no grenades. So that actually makes the B hit like really strong when the CTs have no grenades. Like if you have no smokes, if you have just no molotovs, no way to pressure the Ts. The B hit becomes really strong when you get the post plant. However, Heroic, they are spread out all over the place. They've got 40 seconds to go here. Rubino does get a pick towards Ali. He's been doing a pretty consistently good job around the Ali position.
Once again, Envy selling a fake towards the B bomb site, and that's pulled Sixer into the B area, leaving Haji alone towards A. So fairly simple fakes from Heroic, and they continue to have success. Now there's nobody left on A. Sixer rotating towards backtrain, towards Old Bomb. Rubino in the hell position. So they have the Ivy area covered. That's, again, so important for the T's to get the bomb plant. Ivy and Pop Dog covered. Nico planting the bomb. Rubino going to help. S-Tag and Pop Dog. And it's just Kiyoshima alone now. Looking for something. He has a kit. But 1 versus 3 on the A bomb site. How on earth can he possibly do this? 2 players now around Pop. He might hear some sounds of players moving. Is he going for a ninja? I don't know, but Rubino has a look and finds a raccoon in the trash can. 6 rounds apiece. Envy on Eco again. 4 rounds in a row now for Heroic.
Yeah, they're starting to really pick up a lot of momentum. And Envyus struggling a little bit here to the superior strategy of Heroic. And I think, indeed, like I'm really liking how Rubino is consistently getting a lot of work done towards Ali with his Ali pressure. It really impacts rotations and impacts the defense pretty enormously and gives lurk options as well if your teammates decide to go B and so on. We've seen that play out a few times as well. So Heroic with definitely a pretty well fleshed out T side so far. Ooh, hello. Deagles. Deagles. Another one. This is a bit scary now for Rubino. He's out here in the open. And there's a huge swath of pistol players ready to go and fight.
Nico, not a fan of toes. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, okay, what is it with these Deagles? 3 kills for Scream, 3 versus 1. They can't pick up the guns just yet for the most part because they are around main, but that's the only saving grace for Modi. Scream's got an AK, and that will be headshot number 4. It's getting amped up from the crowd as well.
Oh man, you got to respect that. That is vintage Scream right there. Vintage.
Jeez Louise.
It's like I'm watching one of his like YouTube frag movies, Scream on Fire or something. Oh, clean, clean. Oh, and you just know he's fiending. He's fiending for that last frag right afterwards. He gets the AK. He's ready to go. Oh, beautiful stuff. He's hyped.
Yeah, you don't often see him like that, animated like that, which is great. Good to see him fired up for CTs on the A side. Avoiding the flashbang, lining up for Haji. That's the bomb as well. 3-1 in terms of frags. And now Modi is on the site. Nico's not far behind him, but they've got massive problems. Modi taking big damage. There's 1 CT on green train, off the green train. Modi moving towards the hell position, but he's compromised because of the smoke grenade. He's on his own now. All of a sudden, Envy back in the driving seat. 4 players surviving for the last round of the first half.
This is kind of nice. Scream with the last rounds now on like 22 kills. 23 kills even, sorry. That's pretty beast. He's maintaining a pretty steady 150 ADR so far in this half. So despite, the last 4 rounds being won by Heroic, previous to that one, it's been a pretty decent half for Envyus. It was starting to look like the momentum was out of their hands and they were losing a bit of hope, and the frustration was starting to set in. But going into the last round, Heroic don't have the best buy in the world. Scouts and no AKs, actually Galil's, and they're already going to lose 1 player. So Envyus really favorited at this point to close this round out for the 9-6.
XMS with some aggression towards the IV position, had Scream in for support. Smokes it off and things will calm down there. Rubino had to drop the bomb to even try and get a revenge frag, but then all he saw was smoke. Pop Dog in control of the Envy side as well. Options very limited for Heroic. Scout on the T side, 4 versus 5. You are asking for a lot. Nico has the Deagle, but it's Envy doing the work with the big pistols at the moment. The hand cannons. Scream is full of gunpowder at the moment. Strong position being held by the sniper rifle on this spindle. In the hands of Kiyashima, Sixer with another sniper rifle around Connector. Notice some grenades back and forth. Sixer, that's a nice shot. Fish in a barrel, and he is landing the shot. Tag there, but he will eventually get flanked by Nico, and there are toys to be collected by Heroic.
Well, Nico gets some extra deagle damage in there, but it's unlikely with 20 seconds that he can find a way to win this round. He turns to the bomb and starts walking back towards it. There's so many positions to worry about. And look at that, beautiful Haji's perfect positioning, spots the legs, able to wall bang him to finish it off, and a 9-6 half it will be. And again, like you really have to throw so much credit towards Scream at the moment, because he is just beasting, absolutely beasting for the Envyus side. And without his performance, they definitely wouldn't have come out the better of the two teams in that first half.
Heavy lifting. Observers having some fun. And it has been a good event here so far in Shanghai, China. Really awesome to be here. As people noted on the tweeters, accommodation is very nice as well, as is all the food. It's very nice. What's not nice for Heroic is a 6-9 scoreline. We've spoken about this before. If they win this pistol, sorry, if they lose this pistol rather, I think their chances of survival are very low. They might go out like the dodo. Morty and Nico playing fast rotation around the connector position. Freiberg and Rubino focus on Ivy.
Scream is so dialed in right now, isn't he? Oh no, this is bad. Just great opening there from Envyus, just crushing the defense there on Ali. Now it's down to Nico here. He's going to get crushed as well. The return is just not happening here. S-Tag against 3 at this point. His position's been spotted as well, so no element of surprise that can go and favor him. Swapping out for the CZ. What on earth is he going to be able to do here to secure this? He's got no... helm. Of course, he's not got no helmet, but he's got no Kevlar as well to back himself up with. Is he just going to try to save the CZ? I think that's really the only thing he can do at this point.
Yes, if they're going to force buy in the next round, that is an extra 500. It's $500 still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that can allow them something else to add, or maybe he can drop something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe an SMG. Who knows? You could play CZ no Kevlar and give someone an SMG. They might need it. Could drop an MP7 now with the 100 he had in the bank. So let's see what they opt to do. 10 rounds for Envy. That was the round they needed. That second pistol, again, that has been a recurring nightmare for Heroic. So S-Tag opting for the Kevlar, and he'll leave some money in the hole. He's the only person to buy Kevlar, so they are half buying. They're not going for the full commitments here, Heroic. I think he's got the helmet as well, yeah. Ooh, into Gibbs, and that is pretty much a round. Alrighty then, fair enough.
Oh, that's a wrap, isn't it? And there it is, the hard close. 11-6, Heroic on the wrong end of it right now. It's going to take a lot of composure to keep themselves confident in a position like this. And down to the USP save. There's nothing you can do. You can't fight back. You just have to effectively concede this round. They're going to go for 4 nades, though. So
I wonder if it was worth S-Tag buying the armor in that round, because no one else bought armor in that round. He only has a CZ. If he doesn't buy armor in that round, he has 3,400 this round instead of 2,400, which means he can buy an AWP on their buy round next round. So I think that was... I think that money could have been better spent in the buy rounds. I'll say that much. Doesn't seem like a worthwhile investment to me.
well, Kishima is going to get tagged down, but Envyus had enough. They're just going to push on into the yard. Use the numbers, use all of those. Hello. What's happening here then? 2 quick kills from these USPs. Another one. How are they managing to pull this off? Wow, okay. Modi picks up an AK. No Kevlar on him though, but Oh my god. How is this happening? So much damage, but his Scream left. Surely Scream will be good for this. He can run to B if he wants, but he has to get the bomb first. And does he know where Modi is? Again, these silenced USPs, it's hard to track them. And there's a smoke. That's a smart one. Scream has so much time. He can use the smoke to try to bait Modi. And Scream's still searching for him. There's a lot of space here to work with. What is Scream? Oh no, Scream's going to be in trouble. Oh, Modi also in trouble because he only has 32 HP, but both players are somewhat even now, and now his position's been given away. Scream's going to go for the re-peek. Maybe should have done that. Modi will be ready for it, and that'll be the round. How the hell did they win a USP round like that?
Where did that come from?
That's kind of crazy.
And that round win gives S-Tag the money to buy the AWP, so again, I wanted to see what they would have done if they had lost the round with the next round, like if he goes AWP no armor or something, but either way, it is another door that Envy opened for Heroic to walk back into the game. Only 4 rounds between the two sides, both with sniper rifles on this occasion. S-Tag getting tagged. Ooh. Shot through the wall by Sixer. Still alive, however, no head connection. Modi, Freiberg and S-Tag playing close enough to the connector position for a fast rotation, but there is none required. Top of B has been cleared out by Envy, and they will look to focus on the A site. Scream and Haji outside the Ivy area. Kyoshima next mess around pop.
Indeed, it's looking a little bit tense at the moment. Heroic holding on to very basic positions, unsure as to what Envyus are doing as Envyus begin to pressure Ali more, but you know, how many players are pressuring this? Again, the smoke's down. Laguna's going to flash his way into some information. Oh my god, that's so brazen. Going for just the raw peek, you have no idea how many players are there. Perhaps he expected them to be a bit closer and for that pop flash to be more effective, but maybe a huge door has just been opened here for Envyus.
Envy continuing to push. There are 40 seconds. Someone's got to collect the bomb. It's still in that IV position. Haji falling back to collect it. Good awareness from Envy, but how do they deal with this A site that is delaying them? And you can see Freiberg getting into a more aggressive position. He can't go any further because he would be exposed to the pop dog, but he's exposed to Ivy. His back is not covered, and that might be the frag which allows Envy to get the bomb down.
Communication is really rough. This is Train. The A side is so chaotic. Great spray comes in from Nico. He's been good for it, but it's now down to S-Tag. He's got no HP to work with. A singular 2 points of health. Now, he's going to make his way forwards. There's an HE, but these players are full HP. I'll actually connect on both of them for a little tiny bit of damage, but he'll be nailed to the wall promptly by Sixer. 12-7, the scoreline now for Envyus. Man, Freiberg, poor man. It's hard to blame S-Tag though, because like the amount of time that you have to like somehow communicate to Freiberg that he's now exposed. It's difficult.
Yeah, but he was exposed. I suppose he was exposed to main and Ivy at the same time. So gambles had to be taken, limited in where he could go from that point. If he goes towards main, he's exposed to Pop Dog as well, and there was a T there. So such is life. Heroic get reset. SNES thrown out the window. What are we going to have here for Scream? Ooh. Okay, never mind. Has the best headshot ratio ever achieved in a professional game of any Counter-Strike title. Wow. They went back for that one. They went back.
We got to go back, Marty. So, what is the play for Heroic? They've got an AWP onto Modi. And CZ's spread amongst the rest of the team. Beagle out onto Freiberg. Kevlar's all around except for Modi. So, ooh, ouch. Oh my god, that hurts as well. 2 AWP shots through the wall. Great collecting. Oh, and then the third one through the wall.
Flickerino.
In the head. That is Modi. He was just supposed to die this round. What else can you say? What else can you say?
Damn, you got flicked, bro. You got flicked like a bogey in a classroom. Not the start they wanted. Heroic. S-Tag with the AWP. The other 3 on some pistols. And this is a force buy from Heroic. They don't got no money in the bank. S-Tag trying to make up for lost personnel. That will do. for now. I don't know if there is a weapon disposal service for Envy. Not particularly safe to do it, that's for sure. I think Haji has actually just picked it up to dispose of the gun as XMS holds the angle. No, it's not. He's over towards Ivy. Never mind. Saw a blip on the HUD. One player in the B-bomb site, although they are starting to stream in. They are committing to the B-bomb site here. Heroic, and it is open season around that site. Can the bomb even go down? There are 35 seconds, and they might have to concentrate on fragging here. XMS taking out the big problem, but there are small problems to deal with as well.
A pretty good opportunity, though, to potentially make it work. The smoke is still down. Ooh, gotta be careful here. Debates, and the spray will go one way. Nico peeks the other. As Haji now has the pressure to push boys down the ramp, but at that point, this is nothing he can do. And Heroic win a surprising round.
They're losing the easy ones, Envy. Twice now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, as I was talking about in the before the first game even started, like, I feel like Envy's are going to struggle on those rounds a lot. Because when you have to basically, when you have no routine really with a lineup, and you've got a guy just calling who hasn't called before, everything you're doing is not on routine or protocols. It's based on like what is being called, you know. So how do you call in those spots? How do you be decisive? You got to act instantly, and it's so fast.
Envy cleaned out like a colonic irrigation. Well then, Heroic, you have been given 2 opportunities to catch up, and this is not one you want to mess up. These rounds have been traded back and forth of late, but surely this is not a round that Envy have any chance of winning. Scream does have a Desert Eagle, however. And he's trying to move into position, but he's running out of personnel to capitalize on any frags he might get. 3 versus 5 at this point with 1 minute on the clock. Doesn't know if anybody's near E-box or where he's aiming right now, so he's got to be careful. If he peeks too wide, he might get insta-traded. Could be somebody close to main as well. They have no one there, no eyes there. So lots of issues for Envy to deal with, and Kishima will be the first one out. 2 versus 5 now. And now it's Scream alone, looking for those headshots, but he will be the recipient.
Envyus, he looks in this position that seems so indomitable at one point, and then just like that, you know, you lose an anti-force buy and everything swaps around. And Heroic 3 away from tying up with Envyus. Envyus have a good shot here to throw a wrench into the works. They've got the AKs out, a Mac 10 onto 6. That'd be interesting to see actually how that plays out, because with that Mac 10, you can really gain some space very quickly in certain positions. It's going to be good in pop dog, and there's all kinds of uses for it. Tag wants to go aggressive on Ali, so will he be able to find something, or will he get caught here? It looks like there is some anticipation. But the AWP should surely win the day. Oh, gets a tag. Kiyashima falls back, though. Doesn't feel confident in finishing it off. S-Tag committing.
Ooh, it's the bomb as well. Now, the question is, do Heroic try to defend the bomb here? Or do they, because that would pull them out of position, or do they just let them retake it and hold the rest of the bomb site and sit on the 5v3 advantage? It seems S-Tag will be entrusted with this super long angle. And I don't know why he's looking to his left. He's got Rubino there. Maybe just in case somebody had snuck up from main. That is not the case. So I like this response from Heroic. They're mostly playing far ranges. They have not left any gaps, really, for S-Tag to be flanked. And S-Tag has an AWP angle on the bomb. So this is a complete disaster for Envy. And this is a buy round for them. And they are just going to walk into the meat grinder and beg for mercy, but there will be none. Heroic make it to double figures and are 2 rounds away from tying the score in the last map of this series.
Can they get all the way, though? Or will they be denied? Will they be denied in a catastrophic fashion? Time will tell. Got to wait out the save round of Envyus first. So what is the plan there? I see Freiberg talking a lot. Definitely one of the more experienced and sort of more veteran players on the team. We do have some Deagles out here, though. We know what those are capable of in the hands of some of these Envyus players. Kiyashima and Scream in particular having some great Deagle frags. Flames. Nothing offered up, except a lack of vision.
slow one for Envy. And this is not the worst situation in the world, I mean, for this particular round, because this could give them time to talk about things, use it as a timeout. Doesn't appear that they're doing that from what I can see on the cameras of the players, but that's how I would be using this time. Focus on the buy round, discuss the problems they've been having on the previous rounds. At what point of the round is it falling apart? Is it early? Is it mid? Is it late? Is it all the above? Maybe it is. But this is an extended timeout for them, essentially, to talk about how they are going to win their next buy round. Haji will lose sight of the Ivy position. Envy really looking for an isolated headshot, but it is not proving easy for them. The highlights of Scream seem oh so long ago. Maybe he can refresh our memory.
He's in the open now, so definitely opportunities. Below, heads spotted, but can't quite find the engagement he needs. Sixer now. Just go and die, Sixer, thank you. Right, on to the next round. We'll get the AK-47s back out, and it's four rounds lost in a row there for Envyus. So they're going to have $2,900 in the hole, which will allow them to
fire in the hole,
get themselves the full buy. Now, what is the plan? Fast rounds, slow rounds. I think, you know, the fast rounds where they just, you know, smoking outside and just get out of the pop dog and A main choke points, I think those kinds of rounds are going to be beneficial to them. The AWPs are up as well here for Heroic, so another argument to run some of those smoke plays into the A site. But we'll see them playing it fairly chill to begin with.
Repositioning from the CT side, Rubino and Freiberg. Wondering why, just in case AWP support was needed towards the B bomb site. XMS and Scream now clearing upper B while Haji makes inroads towards the A site. You almost think it's a fake, but the bomb is heading towards Ivy. Now it could wrap towards B. We don't know just yet. But they know Haji is on the site somewhere. Modi's looking to flank him, but he's not going to overextend and pick the main position, and that will cost S-Tag his life. XMS picked up towards the B-bomb site in the meantime, and there is a trade from Modi. They have not seen the bomb just yet. Modi clearing out the main area now while Scream tries to clear out B.
Scream, walk, there it is, gets the spot, but it's like getting the drop on him, he can't get the kill. That may have been the best opportunity now, gone. It's up to Kiyojima and Sixer here as they try to line up some of these grenades to force their way in. Sixer does open things up, 30 seconds to go, time's against them. Modi now appearing from team main, might be in a good position to shut this attempt to save the round down. He will cross, spots one. Oh, can't quite get an angle on the bomb planter though. Modi, what can he do? That's a clean frag. Now down to Kiyojima in the 1v3.
Oh, as he gets to the second one, that's unbelievable. That should have been a guaranteed trade. Oh, he can't drag his mouse fast. You see the frustration there. Oh, some BM as well. Love to see that. Tied scoreline. Kiyojima, I don't know if he ran out of mouse pad or what, but he just couldn't track fast enough on that final player. But to get into the 1 versus 1 from the 1 versus 3 in the first place, you thought surely there was no way he kills the player from main and the player from pop, but he did. And that is a warning for Heroic in the rounds to come. But now Heroic have a great opportunity to take the lead. And look at the money they're starting to build. S-Tag's just shy of $9,000 on the CT side here for Heroic. Whereas looking at Envy, if they lose this round and don't plant the bomb, we're looking at Eco Town.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good look. Sixer on the AWP again. S-Tag back to his shenanigans again with his AWP. And he looks to be going for a deep peek, but are they ready for this? We've got potentially 2 players to respond to S-Tag, but again, S-Tag wants to be playing this untradeable angle where he's able to get the frag, and there's no spacing from the T's to trade him out. Flash comes in, he's very blind, but he gets back out of dodge in time. Is he going to go for the repeat here? He will, and he gets it. Very confident play from S-Tag, gets the tag on the last player, but he can't get the kill. And now Kiyojima is taking down Modi. I'm not sure what Modi's doing there, just creeping up the ladder, looking to see if he can find a backstab, but it is he who is backstabbed.
That's a massive gamble. I think he was trying to cut off the bomb, assuming it was some kind of fake maybe, and they were going to rotate it towards B. The gamble did not pay off on this occasion. What does that gamble mean? What are the implications? 2 of the 3 players towards B here for Heroic, but Rubino is rotating away from the B bomb site as well. 2 smokes down at the moment. It's Nico in B. He has a smoke. He can replenish the smoke on ramp perhaps, but with the position he's playing, he will not have time to pull out any more grenades. Envy look to be setting up for an A site now. The grenade starts to stream in, and Heroic have just all left. They've gone to B. At this point, do they even try to retake? They're out of position. If they try to get back into position and fell, oh, okay, well, they have the money for it, so I'm sure they do. They've chosen to gamble stack the B bomb site, it seems. But what will they do when the beep beep comes in?
Yeah, I think it's could be a spot where they'll consider maybe holding onto the guns. Retaking A from this position is way too difficult when there's 4 players left alive. So I like that they were gambling on the B side in this way, because the B side is, well, they're basically just committing to one side or the other. It's not even. I was going to say that perhaps they were thinking, okay, they could have retake potential in A, but it's actually the other way around. Really, B is easy to retake on this map.
Even though they could go for it and buy in the next round, saving their weapons gives them another buy later on if they do not prove so successful. So there are benefits to this, despite the money they have in the bank at the moment. It turns out to be a play for the long term rather than the short. These are all crucial rounds, and everyone may feel like eons for both these teams. High pressure here in Shanghai. They are playing in front of the live crowd. They've been quite vocal during this match, and I think Sixer has a lot to do with that, which is fantastic. Scream 28 for 17. Can he continue his momentum now on the T side and keep Envy in the lead? Or will Heroic continue their comeback?
So nades tossed here, the classic pre-nades to slow down the pace of the T side. So that's one of the useful things about them, and also keeps you safe from any rushes. And so Envyus, after sort of bending to the will of the incendiary grenades, now looking to slowly push. We see the jump boost to get over the scope should there be one. I think Rubino, though, he's just jiggle peeking so he can get some information, be safe. Looking to swap positioning, it seems, as the pressure comes in. 2 players to push Ali for Envyus. Looks like they're going to go for an A splits here. 3-pronged attack. Or maybe not.
So what is going on? They're walking around this area because they don't know if the CT is close main. If the CT is close main, even closer than this, they would hear all the rotations towards Pop Dog, towards B, and so on and so forth. So they have to use the time and keep the sound levels low. 3 players in A for Heroic. This is a great position for Rubino. How can Scream possibly be ready for this? There is a flat. The second one is good for Rubino's position, actually. And he buys some shots, doesn't work out for him. The spray, though, will do some more damage. But now, how do Envy get onto the site? 23 seconds left. That's a massive whiff from S-Tag. Modi trying to deliver a kill onto Sixer. There are so many players around E-Box. They know he's on the site. The Molotov is there. But this bomb has to go down. They don't really have control of of Ivy. The smoke is there, though. That's a great save from Haji. And the bomb is planted. Nico on his own now. 1 versus 2. As Envy just abandoned the bomb site. They know Nico will spend some time trying to figure out where they are. So Haji will rotate all the way from Pop into main. And we've got Sixer slowly moving. Was he spotted there by Nico? Jumping past, being a nuisance. Nico wanting to touch the bomb, but can he find it? He can. He has a kit, but he's not holding on to it just yet. Sixer going for a crazy play. And that leaves Haji with 17 HP. There's still time for Nico. Will he hold it this time? The smoke dissipating. Soon he looks for it. And you do wonder if Envy just gave it up. That was crazy. This is an unusual game of Counter-Strike, to put it mildly. Sixer flying off the train to take a peek on the low ground of the AWP, getting picked off, leaving the last player alone and in the red. And there it is, a tied scoreline. The bomb was planted, though, so Envy have a bite. There is a play from Sixer, trying to line up an angle or something, but didn't work out. Haji takes the same spot, was baited once again. Great play by Heroic in the end. This is going to be a very important round for both teams.
Mag 10 back out for Haji, as the nades look pretty good for both teams. So that's always good to see, especially on Train, because Train is the type of map where the utility, without utility, you pretty much can't do anything. So Got to make sure that you use it well, try to pressure it away from the CTs and so on and so forth. And especially with the AWP out onto S-Tag, you really want to be able to obscure his vision when you push through the choke points. That's unfortunate, Screen getting tagged through the wall there, but it could have been worse. We've seen it happen that the CT is able to get frags, like just straight frags from that position, that wall bang, with like intermittent bursting. It's very unpredictable. And Freiburg's ready with the incendiary here. So Heroic definitely very well positioned to deal with pretty much anything right now safely. So the ball is in Envyus' court at this point. Heroic are waiting to react to their play.
And Heroic is slowly moving to the back of the A site almost altogether. Modi's going to go to the heaven position as and it's a variation of the smokes you normally see, but it is affect the entire Envy side are towards the B bomb site. And Heroic are asking questions. They don't really have so much information apart from Modi on the high ground, but still, now we have a third player moving into the B bomb site for Heroic. Kishima getting tagged, but Rubino gets picked off. 3 players now at the back of the site. Modi will join them through connector. No flank, but I'm sure Envy will spend a player looking for it. Haji trying to close the distance, getting picked off. S-Tag looking over the smoke. No targets just yet, though. And there goes Nico as well.
4v3 for Envyus. In the post plant, pretty favorable, but can they hold on to it? And so Freiburg will get a quick frag, but Trade is back very quickly from Sixer, and you can see that the hopes are abandoned here by the CT. So Heroic will go all the way back. And are they really able to deal with this when it comes to the monies? The money kind of sucks. So it's going to be pretty painful here because Envyus are going to be threatening that match point pretty soon. And what are Heroic to do about it?
Could be worse. Nico 44-50, and we'll see if the other guys choose to drop an SMG by grenades, drop a FAMAS, a number of different things. S-Tag could drop a FAMAS at the very least. He's got 3 grenades in the hole already. Let's see, what is he going to buy? Yeah, he's going to drop a FAMAS. So M4 can be collected, and that's quite a reasonable buy for Heroic, and it is coming at a very crucial time as Envy will be the first team to try and get a match point on the board.
And if they lose this round, it's probably just over because they have nothing left now. Everyone's spent everything. I mean, fair enough. they did win a USP round, so fair enough. But it's a quick and a fast push into the A bomb site. As Scream opens things up, he opens up Freiburg's head and somebody else's. Rubino goes down as well. And this is looking catastrophic here. Maybe the worst is about to happen here to Heroic as this fast play is very good here from Envyus.
You can hear the Chinese crowd screaming for these frags. They want to see Sixer move forward. S-Tag, what does he do? It would be surely a suicide run of the AWP. It seems he's just going to hold an angle and try to hold on to this weapon for what could be the last round. As the desk said, it's been impossible really to have expectations for who might take this, but Envy are in a very strong position indeed. S-Tag scurries away, but Kishima is just around the corner. Does he hit his footsteps? He does, and he hears the sound of an AK rattling towards his forehead, and that is match point Envyus.
Sixer looks very pleased there. Killing that AWP is really important. I was already sort of running through my head, okay, what is the most likely play from the AWP? S-Tag has pushed Ali so many times and so on and so forth, but that's now just been taken out of the equation. They don't have to consider that. They know that the money for Heroic is in the bin, and so now it's just down to making sure that what happened in the previous rounds where they got caught off guard going pretty fast in the A yard by USPs does not happen again now that the CZs are out. And Envyus, they need to be decisive. Oh, that's a great catch, but an immediate trade back. Maybe there is hope here for Heroic.
Kishima probably not expecting a second player going in the same direction. Playing a fast one to stop people taking the pop dog can be very strong, but unfortunately for him, 2 players with their S-Tag taking the AWP at close range, and it looks like we might be at the end of the line here unless something can be done, and no, it can't. Envy popping off for that one. They have made it through to the semi-finals of the Counter-Strike Asia Championships. Congratulations to Sixer and Co. Really back and forth match between the two sides, but they've made it.
Yeah, it's going to feel great to get onto the stage and to actually get some W's in the bag. Obviously, the next matchup will be against Na'Vi. That's a tough one. That's a really, really tough one, but we won't see that today. Envyus get the chance to really revel in that win and also build on the success and look to all of the leaks in their gameplay, because there were some there's a lot of basic stuff that they can fix. You know, when we're looking at some of those straight anti-ecos that they lost, for example.
We can hear the crowd rumbling the arena. Really happy to see that performance from Sixer and the rest of his team. And indeed, it is early for this Envy roster, it must be said, but that is it's a nice run for them to have, and it's great to have some hometown support as well. See him holding the Chinese flag there. That is really awesome for him, and especially with the struggles that Envy have had for such a long time, to have a moment like this, even if they don't go further in the tournament, must be just really good for morale and the rest of the team. So congratulations to Envy. Any final thoughts on Heroic?
On Heroic, I mean, they've got a lot of building to do. They just got Rubino back, and Rubino himself has been out of action for a long time.
Yeah,
so it's the start of a big building phase for them, I think.
Yeah, it is. It will be a frustrating loss for Heroic, I think. But from what we saw between matches here in the venue, they have level heads. So even if things don't necessarily go their way, they're not going crazy. They're not tilting and raging at each other. They're just a fine professional team. So they should be able to bounce back. There will be lessons to be learned. There are a lot of difficult rounds for both teams, which people can look at the demos and review those and so on. Anyway, more thoughts from Red Eye and Co on the desk.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Bardolph. Mr. DDK with the commentary of our final quarterfinal as well. Let's get some thoughts now from Thorin and Mr. Sean. Gareth, Sean, we'll start with you.
Yeah, the last map was all Scream from the get-go. He went way dormant in the second half, but he showed up when it counted. The second last round, the pop flash coming out ladder room gets the 3K. So yeah, honestly, it's pretty much all Scream. I actually called when I think Heroic won, I think an eco round at the inner bomb site. I was like, oh, this is going to be way, way closer than anyone thinks. Probably going to go down to the wire like 16-13. That's what I said. And that's because Envyus has this really stale style of playing Train where they just do these Ivy splits that are very readable. And they've been doing it forever. I mean, this is like Happy style of CS that they were literally, you were right before the game. They literally just used, everything that they previously ran when Happy was on the team.
Yeah.
And Heroic did a really good job of reading that. But eventually, Envyus realized that. They did the inner hit. That worked out well for them. They did the ladder run out. So they changed up their style completely. So hats off to them for doing that.
I definitely actually feel for the Heroic guys here, because obviously if Scream doesn't go ballistic in the first half, they probably win this game. I mean, they did everything right basically on their own CT half, and they had a half-decent T-side themselves. Then you look at the fact that, as he says, when Envyus switched over to T-side, they could not buy around. It didn't matter what they did. They even tried going slow and letting Sixer set up for those, like, probably some of the most pointless AWP battles in mid I've ever seen, where S-Attack and Sixer just
from that one.
occasionally shoot each other.
3 times.
Some incredible shots in this game, most of which did come from Scream. He ended on 32 for 19, but he was 22 kills after 13 rounds. We were sat there just going, what is going on in this game?
That also does just show you, like, bizarrely, his talent level. Because the thing is, when you see someone drop like 30, you're going to think, oh, every round it must just be a kill. It's not like that, though. With Scream, what he does is he has a round where he just kills 3 people in a ridiculous fashion, and then he has a bunch where he just, nothing happens.
I mean, it was a great round. Fairly early on, I think it was around 10 or 11. They were on an eco. He picks up the Deagle and picks off 3 people with 1 shot, and you're just like, well, okay, what do you do against that?
And they had 2 big round wins here as well. There was one that was by Rubino, I think it was, against XMS, and then on the other side it was Nico winning against, I forget who that was, Haji or something. And so those 2 big 1v1s, you felt as though the game was heading Heroic's way. They were getting the big plays. They were so close towards the end. I mean, at the end, they ended up just having to save a million times, though.
Yeah, I agree. The 1v2 that I think Nico won, where he stuck the bomb right there, came off of it, and ends up winning that round, that seemed like the turning point of the map. It seemed like Heroic was going to walk away with the map, and then Envyus somehow brushed that off, came back. In my opinion, Envyus probably could have won this map a lot easier, but there was an eco round, I think, in the first half at like 6-2, where they decided to do like a triple inner push, and they tried to drop down ladder, which is just such a bizarre play when the other team is ecoing. And it bit them in the butt. Scream still walks away from that round with 2 kills. Standard quota for him that entire half, every single round it felt like. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a slugfest.
Okay, I'm going to get some more thoughts from both of you in just a moment, but we've got a man waiting for us to speak to us from the player area right now. So let's welcome him to the show. Kiyashima, congratulations, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually really good right now.
Good. I'm always happy when a British player wins at a tournament in CS.
A British player?
Come on.
Not yet, not yet.
We adopted you. I thought this was already a deal.
Ish. I'll be back in
Ish.
France soon, so doesn't count.
Okay. Well, Darley, talk to us about. We've been talking on the panel a lot about how you guys have kind of got nowhere right now. You're just like a mixed team in effect. You're kind of puggy style, but you're also calling in this team, and you've got to the semi-finals. So that should answer some of the critics.
The thing is, it came as a mix, but we actually boot camped and we tried really hard to look as a team.
Okay.
So we tried our best to be ready for this tournament, even if we had only 1 week boot camp.
Yeah.
And it's also actually really hard to be conscious of everything when I'm an in-game leader right now. And sometimes it's hard to call, and I think we can see it. But I guess I get better, and I have the confidence of all my team, so they're good.
Good. Okay. How much of you as an in-game leader? Because I think this is the first time you've done it in a top team.
Yeah, it's the first time.
So how much is Kerrigan and how much is Happy? Have you blended the two together?
They the totally opposite, so I cannot do anything with both. But I'm trying my own style with the players I have to take the best out of them.
Yeah, I think that's the key, isn't it? You can only work with what you've got. Thorin's alongside, along with Sean Garris. I'm sure you guys have got some questions for Fabian as well.
Okay. So we noticed on the Mirage game, obviously you were having a really good game individually. It was really flowing, but then it just faded away towards the end. You couldn't close the map out. What do you think the problem was on the CT side? I mean, it's obviously not a map that your team plays that often, but what was going wrong?
The thing is, at the beginning of the side, we lost some rounds when we knew what they were going to do, but somehow we still lost them, and that's when we lost track of what was happening. And then we tried kind of everything, but nothing worked for us. It was a mix of we don't hit our shots and we don't know what to do on the map.
Yep. So my question to you is, we saw you and Scream actually have a lot of success at this tournament. I feel like you guys have revitalized how you were playing. And do you think that your calling style, as opposed to Happy's, has been a major contributor to that?
I think I'm trying to use my players better. I don't force them to do something that they don't want to do, and I try to don't put them in positions where they're not going to be able to do kills, because that's where the strength are. For example, Scream. You need to let him kind of do whatever he wants, but with kind of not a lot of freedom. It's still structured, but with some freedom for him.
Yeah, it seems to work out really well for, honestly, both of you guys. Both of you guys have played really, really well this tournament.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting for all the stats to come through, but the first two, you dropped 48 for 26, which makes you head and shoulders the best fragger in the team. How are you combining that with the in-game leading?
I don't know. I feel like I'm more focused when I'm trying to lead my team, actually. So I have all my ideas, and it's all clear in my head, so it's way easier for me to frag than just following something that I don't maybe agree.
Right. So maybe you should have been an in-game leader sooner.
Maybe, but that's not my strength, I'll say.
Well, you never know. It might turn out to be. Well done. I'm going to let you go, Fabian. Well played today, and we'll see you in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Thank you.
There we go, Kiyoshima. I mean, it's easy, this game. In-game leader, top fragger. What an easy game.
Kind of shots fired at Happy a little bit right there.
There was a little bit. It's the way you explained it, right? Bear
Makes
in mind,
sense, doesn't it?
You can't use the excuse of Kiyoshima of but his English, maybe it was a little bit lost in translation. He definitely speaks really good English. So when he says well, the thing about my unique style is I don't try to force people to do things that they don't want to do. Happy.
Oh.
It's sorry. I mean, what connection would that have to do with Happy? No, but seems to work. I mean, Scream is revitalized.
Yeah.
Even though you had certain dead periods in the game, he's managed to have overall a pretty good 3 maps, I think. I'd imagine actually when you update the stats, he's got to be the top of the scoreboard.
You'd imagine so.
I think he's on 70, 80 kills for the series, so pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. I make it 79 kills over the 3 games.
Dang.
So.
That's really impressive. I really liked how Kiyoshima actually embraced the whole in-game leader aspect of his style now. It really seems like he wanted to try to actually make this work. They did the boot camp, which we didn't even know about, actually.
No. Kept that one quiet, didn't they?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, bodes well, I guess. MVP.
We should have asked him if he was going to win the tournament now. I don't know why that's my new thing, trying to bait people and saying they're going to win the tournament.